911, what's the address of the emergency?
I think my wife shot herself. There's blood all over.
Shot herself with a gun?
It looks like it.
A gut-wrenching scene plays out during a 911 call. A young boy is the first to find his mother shot to death inside their home.
Does she still have the weapon?
I don't know. We just got
Or did
home
she shoot
here.
herself?
I don't know. I just saw her in blood.
Busy trying to console his son, Stephen Allwine has little information for the operator.
Okay. Do you see her right now?
No, I'm with my son.
Sir, do you know if she was breathing at all?
I don't. We
Okay,
just got back from dinner.
Okay, would you like to check on her and see if she is, or do you believe that
No.
she's beyond help?
Stay there for just a second. They want me to go check on her. Hang on.
Stephen quickly returns to the phone with the tragic news.
She
Okay.
is not breathing. I can't tell where she's shot. I don't know.
By now, the 9-year-old boy has figured out his mother is dead. The gun lying near her body.
Why did she?
I don't know. I don't know, bud.
He wonders what will happen to him and his father.
Are we gonna remarry?
I don't know, bud.
When you first walk in, this looks like a suicide.
Yes.
But a closer look reveals something sinister. A killer hell-bent on taking the life of a preacher's wife. Stephen and Amy Allwine had been married for 20 years. The couple met in college and were immediately bonded by their deep Christian faith.
What's the name of the church they attended?
United Church of God, I believe.
They weren't just members of the church. Stephen was also a preacher.
He was initially a deacon, and then he became a church elder. When you are an elder in the church, you are invited to preach, give sermons. He traveled to do that.
The couple each ran a business out of their home in Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Stephen, an IT specialist. Amy, a dog trainer.
Anyone from the outside looking in would say what about this family?
Typical American loving church-going family.
But on a Sunday night in November, the image of their happy family is shattered by that single gunshot.
Are there any other weapons in the residence, sir?
Yes, there's a shotgun in the room and 2 rifles downstairs.
Okay, is the shotgun the one she has?
No, she had a handgun.
Just a few hours earlier, Amy Allwine had been steaming pumpkins to make a dessert. But after lunch, Stephen says she wasn't feeling well, so she went to lie down. Around 5:30, he left her alone while he and his son had dinner. When they returned, about 90 minutes later, she was dead.
Is it just you and your son home right now?
Yes.
Okay. Stephen, are you able to just step out of the home with your son so that my officers can see when they pull up?
Yeah.
Sergeant Randy McAllister of the Cottage Grove Police Department was the first detective on the scene.
You questioned the suicide theory right off the bat.
Yeah, I hadn't completely discarded it yet because some weird things can happen with physical evidence and blood splatter and physics, but it was enough for me to at least put the brakes on.
What stuck out to you?
She was sort of laid out with her arms out to 45 degrees. That's not a normal position for somebody who's just shot themselves in the head.
Another red flag, blood drops around the bedroom.
There were some what we call satellite blood drops outside of the main blood pool itself, which suggests that there was something suspended above that area and dripping blood down.
Also, the position of the gun on Amy's left side.
Her family, who's outside by this time, says she's right-handed.
So there were 3 red flags immediately sticking out to you.
Right.
Fred Fink is the criminal division chief for Washington County, Minnesota.
So at this point, is the case ruled a suicide?
No, it was ruled undetermined by the medical examiner.
The ruling leads to search warrants and a closer look by crime scene investigators, who soon make some disturbing discoveries.
Blood had been cleaned up in multiple areas in the crime scene.
So we know if someone's committing suicide, they're not coming back from the dead to clean up their crime scene.
Correct.
So there was this huge pool of wiped up blood outside of the master bedroom, as well as then footprints down the hall, into the bathroom, into the laundry room, and back.
The blood wasn't visible to the naked eye, only when detectives use a chemical known as luminol.
We see that on television all the time and wonder if any of that's true. But they sprayed it with luminol, turned off the lights, and it just luminesced.
Even before the blood was spotted using luminol, detectives say it was obvious someone had been doing some cleaning up in the hallway.
The floor is very dirty, a lot of dog hair. But then we step onto the hallway, onto the wood floor, and all the way up to the master bedroom, the wood floor is very clean.
So at this point, the suicide theory is pretty much off the table.
It's looking more and more suspicious and less like suicide at this point.
Up next, as the search for Amy Allwine's killer begins, a dirty secret is revealed.
The email began by accusing Amy of having an affair with this sender's husband.
And why the preacher's wife had been living in fear for months.
The same person who was trying to hire the hitman to kill Amy was looking for a drug called scopolamine.
I think my wife shot herself. There's blood all over.
But cops quickly determined the crime scene says otherwise.